Hello everyone, welcome back to another Dark Souls 2 Scour the First Sin walkthrough video. Let's see. Last time I killed the Ancient Dragon, completely optional boss, and very tough fight. So, you don't have to do it, and I wouldn't really recommend that you go do it until you feel like doing it multiple times, because it's probably a fight you're gonna die to a lot. So, I thought when I was first starting this, I thought of how I never really showed exactly what the whole purpose of getting all these giant souls and whatnot is for, really. Why you'd want to even kill Vendrick. And I kind of showed in the Shrine of Amana video this kind of side path guarded by a dragon rider. And inside is some armor and the soul of Vendrick. So Vendrick doesn't actually drop his soul. You find it in like this chair, weirdly enough. But anyway, I wanted to show the door that we can't actually get through. Because I don't know, I feel like it's somewhat important just to show that there's a whole reason why we're doing all this, because it won't let us through. So this is just me going through the water, gonna kill this dragon rider. At least I won't have to kill this dragon rider later. So if you'd like, you can just kind of skip ahead until I get into the actual memory parts, which that'll be after I kill this dragon rider. And you know what, thinking about it, I'll just go ahead and speed up the video. I always love watching the video at faster speed. This is actually 3 times speed. It's just fast enough where the audio and everything speeds up with it, so it doesn't just kind of glitch its way past things. I think in the Brightstone Cove video, I did times 10 or something because I spent a good, I don't know, minute running around and dying and stuff. Maybe even longer than that, so I had to speed it up. But there's that dead dragon rider. And obviously there have been a lot of people around here that thought to fight him, maybe on the bridge, or maybe they just died. That person doesn't know what they're doing. And that's okay. So this door right here, you can't open. It says locked. And no matter what you do, there's no key or anything. You just have to be human, and you have to have beaten Vendrick. And I want to show that door, that way you know where it's at. And, yeah, that way when we kill him, we can go ahead and just, go back to this door and pick up the soul. Just in case, you know, I happen to forget and decide I'll just go pick it up in a different video or off camera, whatever. So the first memory we're going to go to actually is not a required memory either, but it's a dragon memory. It's the only one of its kind, and inside you'll find an ancient dragon soul, which you can use to make a weapon. So I'll go ahead and speed this part up too. So really all you're going to do is, what you want to do is you want to go down to the Duke's Dear Freya fight, where that dragon was. I believe I pointed it out and said, hey, remember this? This looks really cool, blah blah blah. You want to get down there. I'm going to try and skip as many enemies as I can, because that'll just take extra time. Okay, now we're down here. So, from here... Before, this crystal wasn't here. There was just a glowing spot. Now there's a crystal here. And if we choose examine, our character's going to walk over here to this crystal and disappear. With that, like, boss defeated noise thing. At least primal boss defeated, or whatever. Lord. Great one, whatever you want to call it. And this is where we're at. One cannot reside within memory for long. Very important to remember that, because In the giant memories that we're going to go into, there's going to be times where if you're talking, there's actually a guy in there. If you're talking to him, you can waste a lot of time, and it might boot us out, but I'm going to let him talk. You just run up to this dead ancient dragon and examine, and that's how you get the soul. And I think in order to get out of here, you either warp out or you wait for the time to go away. I don't think it keeps you in here for too long. I think it's a little bit shorter than the other memories because there's nothing else to do in here except kind of admire what's going on. Dead ancient dragon up close is pretty cool. So yeah, I think we've pretty much seen everything there is here. Take your time, look around if you want. There's really nothing else here. And I spend the next segment of this video running over and talking to Ornifex and talking to Strayed to show some boss weapons that are now available that I still haven't gotten any boss weapons from Ornifex, and I haven't bought any spells, I don't think, from Strayed. Just because I don't like to spend the souls on stuff if I don't really have them at the time. And Forlorn's invading. Interesting. I wasn't expecting a Forlorn invasion. That's okay. He's not too tough. He's actually far weaker than the ones in Aldia's Keep, because this area is, like, way before Aldia's Keep. Yeah, one riposte there took about half his health. That wouldn't have happened at Aldia's Keep. You might have had to do it 2 or 3 more times to get that. You know what I forgot to do in this video, now that I'm thinking about it? I still didn't show that Strayed sells Forlorn's armor and stuff after you've killed the Great Sword one, the Scythe one, and killed 4 other Forlorn. So specifically, the order you have to kill them in is you kill 4 Forlorn invaders, and you unlock each piece of the armor. Then you kill a sword and or a Scythe variant, and then you kill the other variant, and you get each one of the weapons to show up in his inventory so that you can buy it. And I didn't do that in this video, which is weird because I think that's something I've been meaning to do. Must have just forgotten. But here, Ornifex still says she'll make a weapon for us free of charge, and the later in the game you get, the more expensive these become. So, this Drake Wing Ultra Greatsword is made from the Guardian Dragon in Aldia's Keep, and it released like an energy attack for the strong attack. Curved Dragon Greatsword, we just got the Ancient Dragon Soul that can make that. And that also releases a strong magic attack with the strong attack. And we got the Butcher's Knife, and we got Spider Fang and Spider Silk from Duke's Dear Freya that I haven't cashed in that soul either. Sacred Chime Hammer from Vort, the Royal Aegis. Iron King Hammer, Spitfire Spear, also from the Guardian Dragon. It's kind of interesting, some of the stuff that these items say. Like, Aldia invited people into his manor, and then they never returned, and instead weird beasts showed up. King's Mirror from the Looking Glass Knight. You can also make the sword, which is in the upper left hand here. So yeah, look around if you want. There are some way more expensive items in the DLC with those boss souls, and I'm gonna probably use the freebie on that, because some of those are like, oh geez, I think one's like 70,000 or 90,000 souls. And if I can get that for free rather than like a 10 or 15 or 20,000 one, I'm gonna do that. So back to Strayed. He's gonna sell all the I guess, kind of new or unique bosses. Like Flexile Sentry, Dragon Rider, Smelter Demon, Mytha the Baneful Queen, Covetous Demon, Executioner Chariot, Spotted, the Spotted Whip is for the Demon of Song, Shield Crossbow from the Executioner Chariot, some other stuff we've seen, Pursuer stuff. And the spells, Toxic Mist and Acid Surge from the Rat bosses. I'll go ahead and get those. Sacred Oath from Velstat's Soul is actually a really good miracle. It boosts your attack and defense and everybody around you if you happen to have friends with you. And the other two souls or spells I might as well just do. They're cheap. If you trade in enough things with him, he gives you his armor that he's using now. And he doesn't have anything else interesting to say, so let's go ahead and get into what this video is actually about. Go to the second bonfire in Forest of Fallen Giants. And if you didn't do this area for whatever reason before, I guess, you don't really have to. I think you can just go through Hate's Tower of Flame and No Man's Wharf that way, but you'd have to come back here sooner or later. This is later, so I guess if you haven't done this area, you've got some other things to do too. It'll be really easy if that's the case. I've actually never tried to do it that way. But you approach one of these kind of tree giants, all covered in roots, and they're all like wooden looking. Go ahead and approach one of those, and the thing that's letting us in there is the Ashen Mist Heart, which we got from the Ancient Dragon last time. The Ancient Dragon, yeah, gives us that, and that's how we get here, because without that, you can't do anything.
You are not one of our soldiers, and I don't take you for a mercenary. Whoever you are, this is no battle to involve yourself in. Whether you are guided by bravery or brashness, this is no place for you. I am Drummond, and the Lord has placed this fort in my hands. Whoever you are, I forgive your trespass, but leave this place immediately. Just mention my name, and no man will challenge your exit. And even if you don't, by now, my men have not the will to resist. Soon, the giants will descend upon this fort. It is revenge for the kingdom's misguided barbarism. The venerable lord built this kingdom to bring prosperity to his subject. What has transformed him so, I cannot imagine. Long ago, the king crossed the seas, pillaged the land of giants, and brought back a prize. It was then that the golems materialized. The giants are no ordinary barbarians. A singular rage burns within their hearts. My father and his father both fought the giants on this very land. The giants have wills of steel. They cannot find it within themselves to forgive the misdeeds of our Lord. Did you see him? That towering monster among them. That is most certainly their king. He will be a thing to topple. Even if I should die trying. My blade may break, my arrows fall wide, but my will shall never be broken. Those who live by the sword will die by it, and I, Drummond, won't go down without drawing mine. Be gone with you. This fort will soon fall. Be gone before the giants are entirely upon us.
Okay, doing all that talking, you get the hurrah gesture. And now, we've learned a lot of backstory. Yes, there's a giant that busts through the wall. And I knew that, but I was gonna roll. And I didn't roll, so... We spent a good couple minutes talking to Captain Drummond. He will be summonable for the boss in these areas, I should say. Because there is a boss, and it's in one of these memories. So, kind of cool. But he will be summonable for that boss, which we will get to later. So, right now, your main priority should be just to kind of follow along with what's going on. There was a soul up there. I guess you can just run past these guys. And this whole battle here, you want to run over to this right side. Climb up this ladder. You'll completely skip the trench of death here. Don't worry about the soldiers. They will actually attack you if you get too close. And if you can make it back here, grab the giant warrior club. And now we want to quickly get through here because our time is probably almost running out here. So, I'm going to run down here. Ashen Mist has thinned. That means you have like a minute left. Maybe even less than that. Maybe 30 seconds. Maybe frickin' 20 seconds. I don't actually know. So, go ahead and try and grab everything. This guy is not the one with the low health bar. We're gonna get booted. Yep. Okay. So, it doesn't matter. I'll have to run back through here anyway. So, let me go ahead. Oh, looks like they didn't fix the color yet. Huh, weird. Let's skip through that. Skip through as much that we can. And... Alright, let's go. So... I guess I need to heal and... to run past Captain Drummond. Here's our giant friend. Run past him. Run past these guys. They should miss you more often than actually hit you. And that poison attack, or whatever, that one giant was doing did, like, no damage to me. So go ahead, climb your ladder. Skip past this huge trench. Jump, or roll. Past here is a metal chest. Open it up, petrified something. I should cash all those in sometime. Just to see all the wacky things I get. I probably have 20 of those and 20 smooth and silky stones and whatnot. Should probably get rid of those too. This pyromancer, I'm gonna try and take out the soldiers on the other rooftop. I guess he's falling. Soldiers on the other rooftop will keep giants occupied for a little bit. So I'm trying to keep them busy, that way they don't attack me, because when all the soldiers are gone, the giants will attack you. So, should probably take the ladder down and not fall to my death, because that probably would kill me. And I don't believe there's anything to the right. No. We need to go this way. So, up the stairs, there's an item I completely missed, and there's an elite giant here. You want to get past him and get to this body. You pick up a soul of a giant, and then just kind of hammer on A, really. Hit A once, get a soul of a giant, hit A again for examine, and it'll port you back out here where you're all good to go. So I guess I'll get whatever's on that body later. Huh. I didn't even see it when I ran through here. Alright, your next giant memory that you should visit is up here past where we fought the Pursuer. Which, this is actually kind of an interesting area. I mean, remember this giant statue head, because we're going to see that again really shortly.
Well, we meet again. What are you doing here?
I gotta deal with these guys too.
A place like this. Fate just won't let us stay apart. Will she? See, the old sword's got your attention. That has been enough. They say it is crafted with moonlight. And we all know that. And I would be trader for all the riches in the world.
So Benhart again, he's just chilling here. As long as you've talked to him before Shaded Woods and talked to him in Dranglet Castle, he should be here. And then he's gonna actually be in this next giant memory, for whatever reason. Although we needed a special item from an ancient dragon to even enter these giant memories, he just kind of shows up inside one.
Swear by my honor to aid you in your darkest hour, so no problem, pal.
We'll go ahead and just kill these guys and then go into the giant memory. Same cutscene thing as you get when you're walking in. Memory of Oro. The last one was Memory of Vammar. And Benhart's back in here again. Let's talk to him.
Look at you, old friend.
I know, we just met like 30 seconds ago, right outside this memory thing, dude. So he tells you about his homeland, blah blah blah. He's just gonna keep looping that until you actually summon him 3 times. And when I was doing the Looking Glass night, Benhart's sign didn't show up in that video because that was actually some kind of lost footage. There's actually another character that looks exactly like this character, so that I could go ahead and show you that fight and have all the sound and everything, because I had something go on where I lost all that, and I wasn't going to run through and tell you there's a hypothetical, boss here, and here's how you do it, because it's kind of a tough fight. So I didn't talk to him then, and his summon sign is actually right before the Looking Glass night, and I didn't show it to you in that video, and I apologize for that, but his summon sign was right there. You could summon him for that fight. That's fight 2, and the upcoming fight is fight 3. So what I'm gonna do to make up for that is I'm actually gonna do the boss of this area twice. If you put in another Pharaoh's Lockstone, that's a trap that shoots saw blades at you, and yeah, let's not do that. Instead, activate an illusion wall to open up these chests. You're gonna get like 3 or 4 fire seeds in these memories too, so you're gonna have way more than enough you need to upgrade the normal Pyromancy Flame or the Dark one to max. And then your spares can go to the other one. So after you get those, you want to run up here, and we got more soldiers fighting giants. We got some cannonballs or whatever, flaming something being launched. Not really cannonballs, catapult, siege rounds or whatever. Go ahead and kill this soldier. Go ahead and kill this soldier too. I've had them sneak up on me and kill me. And they're stronger than they are, in their hollow form. So go ahead and hit that weird pulley thing. And actually what you want to do is drop down here, but in case you miss, you want the Silver Cat ring on. Because you probably will miss. It's kind of a weird drop like that. I missed completely, and I would have died if I wasn't wearing that ring. So instead, here's that giant to get out of this memory. We'll just activate him, and we'll go back in the memory. Try that again. Run back up here, avoid these soldiers. Run back up here, around the corner, more fighting giants and soldiers. It's really only the ballistae that can really kill these giants. Without that, these soldiers would fail. Go ahead and kind of quickly fall down so I don't die. Okay, stuck the landing. Now you gotta make this weird jump. Kind of awful, but if you manage to make it, good. Inside, you'll have another giant who's just kind of doing his own thing. Go ahead and end his day. There shouldn't be a mimic around here, but I'm gonna check every chest. Simpleton Spice, Skeptic Spice. Always nice to have those. Bonfire Ascetic ×3, that's nice. Go ahead and fall down here. Climb up this big ladder while that giant is being occupied. Okay, those guys are taken care of. This giant is still alive and there's really nobody else to fight him. So I'm gonna go ahead and just arrow him to death. He's almost dead. We were just up here. Yeah, there's nothing else up here. Drop down to our left-ish over here. Soul Vessel. That's important to have. And this here, that's kind of where we came in from. So you could just go straight here. Giant falls from the sky. Because, I don't know, that's normal. And I skipped another item I managed to see when talking here and didn't grab. So I'll go back and grab those a different time. The item was to the left of where I killed that giant just now, so... It's also worth mentioning that the Drangleic armor we got up here, that's the armor Captain Drummond is wearing, and he will give you the helmet to that armor set after you kill the boss. Which we're going to go do right after we get over to this kind of hidden bonfire, not really hidden. But you probably don't remember it off the top of your head, but there is a king's door back here. I came all the way back here when I got the last giant killed and I got the soldier key. I ran back here to get the Ring of Restoration and I killed the Cyan Knight that was guarding the door, and I actually managed to pick up that armor, and that's how I got maybe it wasn't him that dropped the armor. I thought it was him that dropped the armor. But that's how I got the chest piece. So you put on the King's Ring here. This door opens up. You can take it off as soon as the lock starts to do its thing. I really have no idea why I'm healing myself right now, because when this door opens, there's a bonfire on the other side, so you don't really have to worry about it. So we'll go ahead and do that, and finally this item that was kind of sitting up here We saw it when we were in Forest Fallen Giants earlier, sitting up on this wood thing above where we got the Fire Longsword, Twinkling Titanite, and a Fragrant Branch of Yore. It's important to note that in the base game, you could use a bonfire ascetic at this bonfire that we're going back to, and you could fight the boss, which is through this last giant memory, kill him, and then come back here, use a bonfire ascetic, and grab that item, fight him again, use a bonfire ascetic, repeat, because you should get a bonfire ascetic inside this memory. Well, that doesn't happen in Sky of the First Sin anymore, so all you can really do is farm the boss for souls and whatnot. He drops a lot of souls. But in here, we have Benhart and we have Captain Drummond. Of the two, probably Benhart's a little bit better. I don't know. Both are kind of stupid and can die easy. But maybe Benhart's a little bit better because he's got more health, I think. And when you get in here, watch for these fireballs. I didn't. Got burned immediately. Bonfire ascetic right there. As long as you grab that, you can do this next boss fight as many times as you want. And that's the statue head thing that busted apart. That this is actually the area where you fight the pursuer. So we're actually fighting the giant lord here. Watch for that downward sword smash. It should be the first attack he does. Other than that, he's pretty much like the last giant. You go ahead and just kind of stay by his feet. The only difference is that he does somewhat faster attacks. Like, he still winds up, but the slam or the horizontal slash of the attack is faster than the last giant would be. His stomps are more sideways, and they are farther apart. He's not really that difficult. Really, with Benhart here being a distraction, he tends to do this foot stomp a lot more. If it's just you, then he will try to attack you with sword attacks. But he just went down pretty easy. And we're gonna get the Giant's Kinship and the Giant Lord's Soul. And when we fight him again, you'll actually get a unique ring if you use a bonfire ascetic, because it's meant for New Game Plus, kind of. You get the Ring of Giants +2 and another Giant Lord Soul. And you're gonna get like 100 and some thousand souls. And that is our 5th and final Soul of a Giant right here. It's important that you grab that and not just pour out after defeating the Giant Lord. So let's go back here, and you're actually going to see me use a bonfire ascetic. Didn't really think I was going to do that, but you go ahead, burn. It says, is that okay? You say yes. And what is done cannot be undone. So, yeah, once you do that, this area is forever going to be 1 game cycle higher. Now, the good thing about it is that there's really nothing here. There's this body down here, which doesn't have the upgrade material. I'll show you, just to prove that that doesn't happen. And then you've got the giants and the Giant Lord inside this 1 memory, really. That's kind of it. So, you don't really have to worry about it too much. And so now that's done, and it's important to note that using the bonfire ascetic doesn't just reset this memory, it resets all of them. So I guess you have the other giants and the other memories, but you can run past them. And you have the hollow soldiers and stuff in the other memories, but they really shouldn't get too difficult between New Game and New Game Plus. Now if you keep doing this, everything's going to get more and more difficult until it reaches like the 7th or 8th game cycle. I think it's the 8th. New Game Plus 7 is the 8th game cycle. I think that's the maximum difficulty. After that, you can ascetic and nothing will get any more health, nothing will get any more souls dropped. It's just basically the same game over again. And since Benhart kind of slacked behind in this statue head thing, didn't actually kill these giants, I'm gonna go ahead and rest again. Pour it out and try this again, because I don't need Benhart dying if I'm trying to do this fight solely to, you know, get his stuff. So let's do this again. Run through here. Go ahead, summon Benhart again. And Captain Drummond goes away. You can't summon him and Benhart for this fight. I should have mentioned that the first time. But he goes away. So you pick one or you pick the other. Let's go ahead and run through here. Try and get this head thing to start rolling a little earlier if I can, because I want at least one of these guys, hopefully both, to be killed. There's one, and it just stopped short, so I guess I'm just gonna kill this one. Okay. So technically, this boss is supposed to be done with New Game Plus pretty much done and taken care of. However, it's still the same fight, it's just got a little bit more health. So it might actually be easier if you did an entire game cycle and then did this again. Except he's going to do a lot more damage, probably. I got hit once and that took more than half my health away. So I should probably be a little bit more careful. I really can't see too well. This is not a good spot to fight him, but Benhart is not going to move, so I'm going to try and beat him here. I'll probably end up dying though, just because, yeah, stuff like that happens right there. He does a stomp for Benhart, and that didn't even hit me, but I died. Stuff in crowded spaces, the game gets funny. It's like the boss wants to do a further stomp but can't, or something like that, so he does a closer stomp and somehow it works out that you die. Pretty much is the end goal every time. So try to fight this guy a little bit further away. Okay, third time's charm. Benhart, gonna run straight up here. Those giants just wrecked those soldiers. And Benhart has decided that we're going, so I guess I'm following Benhart. Benhart, you're the host of the world, right? Go ahead, and you just do that. Make the decision. One of our giants is now stuck to the side, so this head rolling thing is not going to kill him, so I guess I'm gonna have to kill him manually again. And he's whooping on Benhart, which is not cool. That hit me. Okay. Off to a rough start, but I think we got this. Alright, Giant Lord again. I have no idea what Benhart's AI thinks he's doing, but whatever. Nice fireball there. Good start. Let's grab the souls and hopefully not die. Alright, so now it's just kind of me and him. Because Benhart is over there doing something. I have no idea. I think he's looking at that statue. He'd rather be Indiana Jones at the moment, so we're just gonna let him do that, and we'll deal with the attack on Titan thing going on right now. Alright, so he did that downward smash. I guess Benhart decided to join the fight this time at half health, so hopefully I can distract the boss a little bit and not die in the process. Or at least, you know, maybe Benhart can just stand there and possibly swing his sword more than once. Don't count on it though, because AI for NPC helpers here is not very good. But thank you, Benhart, you actually contributed here. And that is 112,000 souls in our pocket with another Giant Lord soul and a Ring of the Giants +2. So our poise, I think that ring weighs like 5 pounds, but our poise goes up quite a bit. And now that is Benhart with 3 boss fights completed, and he has lived. We could have used a bonfire ascetic on Prowling Magus back at Brightstone Cove, and that would have probably been an easier fight, but that would have made the whole army campsite thing also a new game plus, one whole game cycle ahead, and I don't really like that because there's a lot more enemies in there that I actually care about being in New Game Plus. I guess it doesn't really matter. I just know that you can run past all the giants here, and it doesn't matter too much. Whereas the army campsite in Brightstone Cove is just a lot of enemies, and I like to run through there to grab Benhart or to get the Mimic. Take these, all one of these helms.
Be gone with you. Gone.
Alright, so now we have that. Let's get out of here. I'm not going to do the whole memory again. I could. It's all ready to go. Everything's reset. But I'm not going to do it right now. Probably do it off screen, pick up my stuff again. So this is the helmet he gave us. The Drangleic helm. It looks okay, I guess. I don't really like the top part of it. And it's supposed to go with the Drangleic armor, which we picked up way earlier. I don't really think it goes well with it. It doesn't even, like, sit well with the cape. So I'm not going to wear that. I'm going to wear what I've been wearing. Simple, sweet, to the point. And let's go get Benhart again, talk to him, and finally get his stuff. And that'll be Benhart completed, and we won't have to worry about it. Benhart is also available in one of the DLC bosses and in Drangleic Castle, so we haven't gone down there because the way I'm going about it, if you go down there now, you can beat the game. Now that we have the Giant's Kinship, you can go down there and you'll have to deal with a boss and then the final boss and then you're done. If you go down there after you get the King's Ring, but before you get the Giant's Kinship, you do one boss and then you go away, come back and do the last boss after you do these. And if you wait until you do all the DLCs and will actually talk to Vendrick, like non-hollow Vendrick, we will get an item, and then we can finish off the game, and we have 3 bosses to finish off, which I think is much more fun than 1 or 2. So that's kind of my method. No, if you beat the game and you go down there and take care of all that, credits will roll, but you don't start the next game cycle until after you come back and you go to Majula and you say, I want to do the next game cycle. Then, after you beat the final boss, you can get pretty much infinite upgrade material from the stone trader chick, which I'll talk to in a little bit. And with these 200,000 some souls, I could level up a lot, or I could buy all these armors that I haven't bought because they're really expensive. So, yeah, it's 200,000 souls, but I won't miss them. Not in the long run, I guess. Smelter Demon armor. The Lost Sinner armor. The Looking Glass armor. Bellstats armor. There will be more armors later. But that's what we got for now. I suppose with 80,000 souls, I should go over here, talk to the cat, and buy anything I want. And she's over here this time.
It seems that we must now part. Why now? I don't see how it should matter. Just because I'm a cat? Honorable Sovereign, take your throne.
So everybody's hinting that you can beat the game right now.
Honorable and do.
So she actually sells these flying feline boots, which reduce falling damage. I'm not entirely sure what triggers those. I think it's defeating both the rat bosses, maybe, is what I heard at one time. I'm not sure, though. All I know is that after... I think it is after doing the rat bosses, but all I know is that after a little bit of time, she sells them, typically. And the way I play the game is I do every boss, pretty much every optional thing, do quests, all that, so... I just know I talk to her and grab them near the end of the game.
This place is flipping. Huh? No, I wasn't.
So let's see what Gilligan says,
I'm from a wee bit out west.
and what else he has for us to buy. This is pretty much the end of the video. I'm not going to do anything else special. I'm just going to buy items. Yes, let's buy 11 wooden shields. How about one? I already have a full set of that. I'm going to go ahead and buy another set. Or 11. I'll buy some bleeding serums, some lacerating knives. Get this. I'll buy some of these lacerating knives because they do bleed.
Cheers for that.
Stone Trader Chloanne, what do you have? Talk to her. She now has a lot more upgrade materials, but she only sells 10 Titanite chunks. Again, if you beat the game, she gets infinite Titanite chunks. So that you can upgrade pretty much all your standard armor and weapons up to max. You'll need a Titanite slab, but you can farm those from the stone guys in Dranglet Castle, so there's always that.
I'm always here.
I'm not going to worry about it. I should have enough upgrade material to do what I want to do anyway. So I gave the Pyromancer some thief armor, so she's not wearing like tattered, stupid clothes. Now she's in a nice outfit. I don't know. That's usually what I do. It's kind of the end of the game, so there's really no point, and I don't really have much to do with her. I don't have to upgrade anything or buy any more spells, really. So I guess with my remaining souls, I'm just going to go down here and buy some miracles. I'll pop a few of these and see what that gives me. 4,000 souls. I don't really feel like popping anymore right now. Crushed Ice stirs, so that I mentioned is this here. It's going to say, use this to invade the world of a traitor. I told you it was going to happen around her. Don't do it unless you don't want to talk to this lady ever again. So I'm not going to do that right now.
Journey, I can see. You must have a glorious number of souls by now. What a wonderful
feeling that must be.
So at this point, you should kind of be getting a weird vibe from her. I'll go ahead and just buy all the heals. And I'll buy 3 forces. And that finishes most of my souls.
Offer your souls to the gods.
She keeps telling you she wants souls for the gods and do all these things for the gods and blah blah blah, when really she's pretty much benefiting from everything. She's conning you out of your stuff. So that is gonna be that. And I think I'll end the video in a different location, because I usually end it by the bonfire. Why not go ahead and just run up here? I guess we'll talk to him first.
I'd forgotten how much comfort a little companionship can bring. Once I'd lost everything. But now I am grateful for what you have taught me. It is very little. But please, take this.
Soul vessel.
Do you see the
So we can
way
respec
that
again.
was so great? But don't.
Okay, so that's going to be the end of this video. Next time, I'll start the first DLC. We'll get through that. But until then, thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next video.